Hello, welcome to TisTalk.
Welcome to TisTalk. This is a podcast coming from Tisbury, Wiltshire and surrounding villages. I'm Julianne Murphy.
And I'm Mary Myers. It's the week beginning Monday the 16th of June. Hello Julianne.
Hello Mary.
How are things?
Very well, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, I had a good interview with Zoe Guild, who's now going to take over the Southwestern, and we're going to hear from her today on TisTalk.
Yeah, I like the sounds of Zoe.
Did you?
Yeah, perfect person to be running the Southwestern.
Yeah, I mean, she's keen, she loves catering, she loves hospitality, and she's really genuinely passionate about it.
Yeah.
So we'll hear that later. But another interview that we're going to have coming up in the next few weeks is another thing about a pub, which is the Greater Good. You know that one in Fovant?
No.
Oh, it's on the road as you go to Salisbury.
Okay.
On the A30. And it's on the left. It's a rather handsome building on the left as you go around that rather nasty corner.
Yeah.
In Fovant.
Yeah, actually in Fovant.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know where you're talking about.
So now that is run by a Tisbury woman.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
Tisbury girl. And Martin interviewed her, and it's also a success story. I mean, let's hope that the Southwestern's going to be a success story, but, you know.
Sure it will be.
It's just, are we seeing a kind of resurgence of people buying pubs and making a go of them? Because even this time last year I was going, oh, doom and gloom, all the pubs are closing, it's all terrible. But now there are young people.
Well, I suppose we have some really big success stories around here, don't we? The Royal Oak in Swallowcliffe and the Beckford.
Yeah.
I mean, people are raving about the Royal Oak these days and the food there and everything. And I think if you're offering really nice food and a nice atmosphere in a good pub, you know, you're going to get people.
Well,
what else can you do round here, Mary?
Yes, true. Yeah, anyway, good luck to them all.
Fantastic, yeah. So, Mary, what have we got on the programme today?
Okay, well, here's the list. Firstly, it's a fresh chapter for the Southwestern. We interview Zoe Guild. Then Anne Martin talks to children at St John's Primary School all about their golden hour activities. It's very sweet. Then we've got something about how you can go to the Hatch House Ballet Under the Stars for much cheaper than advertised, which is always good to know. And then we've got some planter wisdom from Rosie Buck, gardener, and we end with the What Songs.
Okay. And we start with Mary chatting to Zoe Guild from the Doghouse pub in Gillingham, who is taking over Tisbury's Southwestern. Hear her exciting plans to bring a warm welcome, stylish rooms and a gastropub vibe to our much missed pub.
So, I'm here at the Doghouse in Gillingham with Zoe Guild.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
And what a lovely little pub this is.
Thank you so much.
How long have you been running this?
We opened the beginning of May in 2024.
And, more importantly for Tisbury, you and your partner have just bought the Southwestern pub.
Yes.
And you plan to turn it back into a pub, I guess.
Pub with rooms, yeah.
Pub with rooms.
Yes.
And a restaurant?
And a restaurant, so we'll keep it similar to how we have it here at the Doghouse. Bar and restaurant quite separate. We'll have a bar menu dedicated to bar snacks and little nibbly bits for when you have your drinks, and then our a la carte restaurant will be sort of in keeping with what we have here at the Doghouse, hoping to do over fire cooking, but once we get in to renovate the kitchen we'll sort of go from there.
Yeah, so you've just shown me this special over the fire cooking setup you've got. So that's a bit of a unique selling point you've got here.
Yes.
You're planning to do a similar sort of thing at
I hope so. We do want to build an outside kitchen to use in the summer for events, to depend on when we get into the kitchen to see how we'll be able to manage fire cooking.
Right, okay. Yeah. Can you clear up a question that I have, which is that we, you know, the grapevine is a great thing in Tisbury. We heard that it was a man who had bought the Southwestern.
I have a silent partner, and he has bought the building, which I'll rent off him. And which is the same with here. We have an agreement that we've been working on. He calls himself the builder, not the person that runs the pub. I do everything from the pub running side, but he renovates with me, and he's bought the actual building, which we will rent off him. But we work quite closely together. Yeah, so he's the one with the digger.
He's the one with the digger? I thought you were going to say he's the one with the money.
He is the one with the money and the digger.
Okay.
So it's the same as if say, Hall and Woodhouse owned the building and I'd rent off them. The business will be mine, the building is his, in that sort of respect.
Right. And he's in charge of the renovations and the digger work in the garden.
Yeah, so he's renovating. So his
moment.
team is renovating at the moment, which we work quite closely with. And my partner Ben will also be doing in trade as well, so he'll be doing bits and bobs there too.
Right. Okay. And you're doing works in the back at the moment, and I understand that you'll actually open it out and go right down to the river Nadder.
Yes, so we've cleared out the whole garden at the moment. We're hoping to build a big deck and then all the way down to the river, so we'll have some seating hopefully down there as well, because it's so beautiful down there. On a sunny day, it is the most beautiful spot.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
It's going to be great.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
And when do you think you're going to open?
I hope to aim for spring next year.
Okay, spring 2026.
Spring 2026 is when I'm looking to open.
Okay.
Is the goal.
Yes.
But I think it's we opened here spring 2024, and I think it's a nice opening to the summer. And it will be in all its glory. So you'll be able to have the summer there and then a cosy winter.
But just looking at the menu here, Zoe, you're tempting me, my mouth's watering. But could you just tell us what sort of food you're going to be offering at the Southwestern?
So our menu has always lent itself to sharing. So everything is cooked over fire, cooked to temperature, not to time. So it comes as and when it's ready from the fire kitchen. Smaller plates and larger plates, which vary from baba ganoush with our house bread to croquettes, and then a whole sole. It's ever changing, so Pascal changes our menu pretty regularly, which is really lovely.
And you're going to have a different chef for the Southwestern?
I imagine Paz will come to the Southwestern initially.
Okay.
But that's sort of, again, just to set up the kitchen, and we'll see how it goes from there. But again, everything is still very much in the early stages.
Yeah. And in terms of price?
Around £40 to £50 a head.
Right.
But can be cheaper. We have a lovely little bar snacks menu here as well, which for a lighter bite, but it really just varies because it can either be a smaller, lighter meal with the small plates, or if you're looking for something a little bit heavier, we do have a bit of a varied thing. But it's accessible for all, I like to think.
Yeah. And open for lunches and dinners?
Open for lunch and for dinner, yeah. And bar snacks available all day.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
I lived in Tisbury when I worked for the Chickpea Group, which I worked for 5 years. Nearly 2 years ago I left, wanting to go and do my own thing. I've known the guys that run the Chickpea Group for years and years and years. But my dream was always to have my own pub, which was facilitated by my silent partner.
Yes.
So it's been a bit of a journey. I've grown up in hospitality though. My mum and dad had a bed and breakfast, so I grew up around lots and lots of people.
Right.
I worked in a French restaurant from about 15 and have just always been around lots of people. I've loved it. I love hospitality. It is my favourite thing to do. I get such a buzz out of a busy service. I love being around people, and living above the doghouse now, it's my favourite thing.
Originally you were from Salisbury, is that right?
Grew up in Salisbury, yeah.
And your parents had a
they
B&B there?
Yeah, the other side of Salisbury. So they had an 8-bedroom bed and breakfast.
Right.
But after COVID changed it into self-catering units, but they've always been... My mum's very, very involved in this business. She does all my bookkeeping.
Are you going to keep the name?
Yes,
Right,
yes,
okay.
keeping the name, yes.
Yes, all right.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, it used to be a sort of railway theme, but you're going to sort of more keep it the theme of this doghouse?
There will be a few odes to the doghouse there, but it will be in keeping with our design here, with a few little changes, and the rooms will have a nice little doghouse-esque.
Actually, why the dogs? What is the doghouse idea?
So-
Where does it come from?
We wanted to have a rebrand of the Buffalo.
Oh, that was the name
That
of
was
the
the
pub.
name prior,
This
yeah.
pub before.
And we were sat in a pub one day thinking, what should we call the Buffalo? And who I was with said, oh gosh, I should probably get on, otherwise be in the doghouse. And it just sort of clicked, and it's like we always want everyone to be in the doghouse rather than making it a negative term. Turn it round on its head and make it a bit more fun. It's a bit of a play on it. But
I see. But are you doggy people? Have you got dogs?
Funny enough, I've got 2 cats.
I see.
I am a doggy person. It doesn't really lend itself to here, just because we've got a little tiny flat. But always loved dogs. But it's it just had a bit of a funny tone to me, and I think it's sort of very in keeping with it now.
And you've got 2. Are they made of china or anyway,
stone? Yes, 2 stone dogs
outside the entrance here.
2 Irish Wolfhounds, yeah.
And what about at the Southwestern?
I'd like to have another one there, just for our little ode to the doghouse. But we'll have to see when we get inside, really.
Yeah,
and get the interiors ready there.
Yeah. So why Tisbury and why the Southwestern, Zoe?
We were looking for something within a 30-mile radius of the doghouse to open our second spot, and when the Southwestern came on our radar, it seemed like an opportunity not to miss. It crept up really for us, but it's such a beautiful building. It has so much history that it just seemed like something that we could create something really beautiful. And I love Tisbury. Tisbury has such a special place in my heart, and I just thought it would be so nice to get back there.
Yeah. Actually, Zoe, you may know this, but it's sort of all eyes are kind of on Southwestern because it's such a legend in Tisbury history. Pat Ost, the amazing landlady who was there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
I have received emails, and people have come here ever since hearing about it to check us out. It's constantly getting questions, people popping in for a drink asking about it. I do feel like lots and lots of people are anticipating it, very excited, asking me when it's going to open. And yeah, it's really exciting. It's really nice to feel the buzz from Tisbury already, and that it's an excited buzz and a good thing. So I'm hoping to live up to our expectations, really.
Zoe, will you be managing both pubs here at the Doghouse and the Southwestern?
So I will be overseeing both pubs. I have a manager here who's fantastic, Paulina, and we'll get another manager there to oversee the day-to-day. But Ben and I will split the responsibilities of the Doghouse and the Southwestern by going in between them and just keeping an eye on everything, making sure that everything's running properly. But yeah, it will be an overseeing of both venues.
Yes. What about staff? Who are you going to employ there? Do you know yet?
Oh God, absolutely no idea.
Okay. Could there be jobs for local young people in Tisbury?
More than enough jobs, I think. You know, I've got a really good pool here, but we all live in Gillingham, so we'll start recruiting obviously early next year, but there will be plenty of jobs, and looking forward to having another team on board, really.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Zoe.
You're listening to TisTalk from Tisbury, Wiltshire.
Next, we have pupils from St John's Primary School sharing the joy of their golden hour activities. From sport to song to their magical production of Peter Pan coming up soon.
I'm at St John's School in Tisbury today talking to some of the Year 6 pupils about what they've been up to recently. They finished doing their SATs exams, and so now they're doing much more fun things at school. So can you tell us some of the fun things that you've been doing at school recently?
We've been doing a lot of play practice for the Peter Pan play.
Ah, right. Okay. So what have you been doing to rehearse for the Peter Pan play?
Mostly just going over lines and doing a lot of songs.
Good.
We've also been doing rounders. We usually did rounders after that, so it's quite fun after that.
Okay, so playing in the field, playing a sort of rounders, which is a kind of game a bit like a sort of cricket, but you run round in a circle. Great. Anything else you've been doing?
A lady came in and we did something called Funky Foods,
that sounds fun.
She taught us a recipe and we made a pot of healthy cold food.
Oh,
Couscous.
Great. What was it called?
Couscous.
Couscous. Oh, right.
I love
and tuna.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. You didn't like it.
It was
You loved it.
I squeezed like a whole lemon into there.
Did you?
I ate the
That's
lemon.
brilliant. Okay.
I don't like
Lemons are good.
So what else? You've got a forest school, I think, here, haven't you? So
Yeah.
what have you been doing in the forest school?
So I did forest school yesterday. So basically, some of the year sixes are picked out to. Two of the year sixes are picked out to go and join with the younger ones and do forest school, and I did it yesterday for the first time with Lucas. And so first we went on a walk for an hour, and if you found something like an insect or a flower you wanted to show everybody, you'd put your hand up and everyone would come around and see what you found.
Did you find anything unusual?
No.
Not unusual, but interesting things.
Yeah, and we had to keep stopping because we had to watch out for a bunch of ladybirds.
Did you? That's brilliant. Yes.
This isn't always, but we sometimes have we sometimes do den building where they give us ropes and stuff.
Tarpaulins.
That sounds
And then we
great.
just build a base and sometimes they chuck water on it and stuff.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
Oh, when I was in forest school, the year sixes usually help around, so they help set up the campfire. Me, Eddie, and Oliver we had to use flint and steel, but none of us did it.
To make a fire?
Yeah.
Did any of you manage to light a fire?
When me and Mason done it, I did it first try. Well,
You managed to light a fire just with a flint?
flint and steel. It was
And with steel?
I took 3 tries and I got it.
Oh, God, that's great. Well, you'd be good on a desert island, wouldn't you? You could survive.
I'd get down to coconuts. So, as Eagle said, me, him, and Eddie went out, and I also did some other fun things. There's this thing where you have to put a leaf under this piece of fabric, and you can smash the piece of fabric to make the leaf pattern come through.
Oh, great, yes.
Also, every Friday, we get to do something called Golden Time, which is where the whole school gets to do lots of different activities. And you can sometimes you can bring your bike or scooter, and you could do disco, and you have a dance, and it's 45 minutes, and it's really fun.
God, this school certainly has a lot of fun. It's not just all hard work, is it? So you've got your play coming up, haven't you?
Yeah.
And we've got Peter Pan here.
Yep.
Yes, brilliant. Okay, and are you all in the play then?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So I'm coming to watch the play, actually. When is the play?
Soon.
Soon, okay, soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Soon, because I haven't even got
Oh, right.
I haven't even learned this.
And you've got a song, haven't you, for your play?
A lot of songs.
Can we hear the song then?
Oh, which one do you want to?
The
Well,
one that we were singing earlier.
yes. Okay.
You forgot with the flag. Can't you see? Can't you see?
Typical me.
Now, find out how you and your children can experience the enchantment of Hatch House Ballet without breaking the bank. Discounted seats and a special dress rehearsal open the doors to all. Mary will explain.
Yes, thanks, Julianne. TisTalk has received this message from the organisers of the Hatch House Ballet Under the Stars event in July. There's to be a special children's matinee and dress rehearsal on Thursday the 24th of July, starting at 3 p.m. It's an engaging and interactive ballet experience hosted by Bahamian ballerina Courtney Celeste Fox, designed especially for children 11 to 15. It's in support of the Dickie Buckle Fund. Children's tickets are only £15 each and accompanying adults £25 each. Then at 5:30 p.m. you can stay for the full dress rehearsal for a minimum donation of £50. So that's Thursday, 24th of July at Hatch House for a beautiful afternoon of ballet for families with children. To book, go to dickeybucklefund.com. So that's DICKYBUCKLE fund.com. Be quick because tickets are sure to be selling out fast.
This is TisTalk from Tisbury, Wiltshire.
Next we have Planter Wisdom with Rosie Buck. She's chatting about troughs and planters and how to make your pots look lovely.
So with summer marching on and holidays approaching, I thought it'd be a good idea to have a little bit of a chat about troughs, both the troughs that are up the high street and those you might have at home, so planters you might have at home that you might be thinking about how to keep them going in the summer, and particularly when we go away for any holiday. So as far as the planters or troughs up the high street, they have been bought by the parish council but at a very reduced rate and filled with compost, with the plants bought as tiny little plug plants from Castle Gardens with again quite a discount to them. And I kept them going in my potting shed, planted them up, and then the gardening club and I have planted them out gradually going up the high street after we'd approached businesses to see who would like to have a trough or planter, and they will be responsible for looking after them once they're all planted up. So as far as the compost that was used, good quality peat-free compost with a bit of John Innes mixed in with it. And the key thing with peat-free compost, which has to be said I've been using for years, is to give it a little bit of an extra boost. And quite literally there is now a product on the market with that name that is an organic feed that will keep the compost going, hopefully throughout the summer, perhaps with a little bit of additional liquid feeding later on. So what you do is crocking in the bottom of your planter, which helps to aid drainage so that any roots that grow down don't come and block the hole. Once you've got a good layer of that in there, good quality peat-free compost with some John Innes, which is topsoil basically, added in, and a little bit of a slow release fertiliser just to give it that extra oomph halfway through the summer. And then put your plants in spaced apart, knowing that they will hopefully grow up and fill the space. And then the crucial thing then, I think, is how often should you water them? And again, peat-free compost has a bit of a bad reputation that you, unlike peat, which held the water, but that's why we shouldn't be taking it. Peat-free compost feels like the water has all gone out of it. So the key thing with that is not to overwater, in the sense that put your finger in, and if it feels slightly damp a little way down, then it's fine. But otherwise give it a drink. And it's always good that you don't go between completely flooding your planter or your trough of flowers and letting it dry out. So the ideal is to keep it fairly moist but not overwatered. And drainage, as I say, is quite an important thing. Although when we do get to the summer, and particularly when we're going away, we want to make sure that things don't completely dry out. So if you are going away, it's always a good idea to put your pots and planters all in one place, out of direct sunlight if that's at all possible, and potentially in saucers so that then any water that they get they can take up. But also what you don't want is obviously plants sitting in water for too long, because that can rot the roots and that can also cause as much, if not more, damage as drying out. And then even if it's rained, you still do need to give things that are in pots a drink and a feed about once a week. And they always say the best way to feed plants is actually have a liquid feed that you've put onto moist compost. So maybe once a week give a bit of a water and then give a bit of a feed, so that then the plants are able, it doesn't wash straight through, the plants are able to take up that feed. But I think
I hope everyone agrees that although a little bit of work, actually planters can do an awful lot to raise the spirits and add a little bit of colour or even greenery in a place where there isn't much. And with a little bit of thought and care, I think they can bring a lot of joy.
TisTalk, a podcast from Tisbury on tistalk.buzzsprout.com.
Finally, we have the What's On listings with George Murphy, special guest.
On Wednesday, the 18th of June, the Tisbury outing destination is Brownsea Island, leaving at 9 a.m. A little later, starting at 10 a.m. until 12 noon, the Tisbury Memory Group meet in the Hindon Hall. On Thursday, the 19th, at 11 a.m. until 1 p.m, the Wiltshire Site Social Group and Advice will be in the Nadder Centre. On Friday the 20th at 7 for a 7:30 p.m. start, the Community Chorus Summer Concert takes place at the Victoria Hall. And also on Friday the 20th, a concert for Ukraine will be performed at St John's Church starting at 7:30 p.m. On Saturday the 21st, the Country Market is in the Victoria Hall from 10 to 11 a.m. And at 10:30 a.m, the Big Bash and 8-a-side for charity will be in the Fonthill Park Cricket Club. And in the evening of the 21st and the 22nd at 7:30 p.m, Tag perform Finders Keepers in the Victoria Hall. And on Sunday the 22nd at 10 a.m, Young Nature Watch will be going to Longford Lakes for a water bird identification workshop. For more details and to book a space, email youngtnhs@gmail.com. And that's all from What's On this week.
And of course, on Saturday the 14th, it was Tisbury's Fete. And TisTalk was there, of course, and we took a soundscape of the whole event. We went round and we had our microphone on and we recorded this lovely soundscape from the day. Well, I'm at Tisbury Fete with a young woman with a cockatoo on her hand.
Cockatoo.
Oh, okay. And what's her name?
Sky.
And who's she?
She's around 5, I think.
What's her name?
Eva.
He's not angry at all. I mean, he's washing up.
Am I helping?
And do you go to school around here? Or?
Shaftesbury. Shaftesbury.
Yeah, is that how you know each other?
Yeah.
Right. And are you enjoying this Fete?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
My name is Tom and the Clementines. On the drums, Mr. Adam Colwell, ladies and gentlemen. On the bass guitar, Mr. Guy Redman. Dashing, handsome man he is. And my name is Tom Clemens.
I'm Georgina Russell, the local neighbourhood officer for Mere and Tisbury, and that's why we've come today so that we can be seen by the local community.
Great, well it's good to have you here. Thank you very much. So this is Simon Holder on his stall and he's selling some of his books.
Yes, my bestseller Revolution of the Species is doing quite well. The one that's coming up on the rails is my latest, The Slave Owner's Dilemma.
Well, I think we're doing quite well, and quiz is doing very well. As you can see, the children are enjoying it.
So it's a history quiz?
It's a history quiz about Tisbury. So are you enjoying doing the quiz?
Yes.
Can we have it loudly? Yes, into the microphone.
Yes, we are enjoying the quiz.
Well done.
How's it going, Tata?
I think it's going really well. We were slightly late today, but now everything is running smoothly. It's quite well attended. The sun is shining. It's not raining as predicted. no storm.
It's just a little bit windy, isn't it?
Yes.
Everything's blowing over.
And that is a little bit irritating, but apart of that, everything is good. Yeah.
So, Steve,
Yeah.
what are these posters?
Okay, so the kids from St John's Primary School
Yeah.
have all drawn a poster
Yes.
and the theme for the carnival is animals.
Oh, okay.
So here they've done all these posters, and we want to choose one
Okay.
to use for the carnival.
Oh, so we're in the ring
Yeah.
where the dog show was and
Yeah.
all that, and there are lots of laminated A4 pictures.
Yes.
And they're great. I can
And
see a
I
giraffe.
know they're brilliant.
I can see all sorts of animals there.
Yeah.
Lots of giraffes.
Yes.
It's because the theme is the jungle, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Yes. It's a jungle. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you. That's all from TisTalk this week. Thanks very much for listening. And just before we go, there's a message from Jerry Mason and Dave Milas, who were the amazing organisers of Tisbury Village Fete, and they want your feedback. They're asking what worked really well for you, what didn't go so well, what were missing that would have improved things for you, and any other suggestions for future events. They say people can contact them via Facebook, Nextdoor, WhatsApp or text 07564 141 747 or email tisbury_village_fete@proton.me, and that is for feedback on the fete. That's all from TisTalk. Bye bye.